Good evening and welcome to Early Late Nights, the show that's been backing up its save files since 1994. I'm your host, Ciaran and welcome to Explosion Network's number one gaming news show that happens each and every Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Australian Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. Thank you very much for joining me live, or if you're watching at home, well, you're all watching at home or somewhere. Don't even worry about that. But if you're watching after on the pre-recorded, on the VOD, or listening on the podcast, thank you very much for joining us. Today's show features more about Nintendo's crappy backup saves policy. We're going to be looking at the first-hand experiences of Destiny 2's new DLC, Warmind. Overwatch has recently come out with a new charitable skin, as well as this week's tidbit. I'll be talking about the different reasons people, or even the different reasons I play games, and why, in the end, it doesn't really matter when you truly look at it and take another step. And then also be finishing off the show with 60 Seconds of Media Madness, as well as checking out our Gamer Spotlight of the Week. But let's jump right in. Let's get going. Let's take a look. And if you weren't here earlier in the week, then I discussed Nintendo's new online policy as they came out and were talking about how later this year they'll bring out subscription service. We already knew this was coming. And the subscription service features bits and bobs. It finishes 20 NES games that you pretty much get to borrow. You get different access to the app, access to play games online. But then also, the big thing that has caused controversy so far, well, controversy is that being able to back up your game saves is currently not a feature in Nintendo and will only be a feature through cloud saves with the online subscription, which has rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. A lot of people are quite unhappy about the situation. There's been news articles and news reports I've seen all over the place that are referencing, okay, people, you've got 4 months to try and keep your Switch safe. You've got 4 months until you can avoid losing all your save data. I'd hate it. I'd hate to be, that person that has put 200 hours into the latest Zelda and have that save game just disappear. Just be gone. 200 hours just fucked off. Just see you later. Why is that still a thing in today's, world? And there was an article on Kotaku talking about how Nintendo fans are rallying together to further bring up this point of there are no way to back up your saves, neither through cloud or local services on the Nintendo Switch currently, which is stupid. In today's world, it is stupid. And for the amount of wins that Nintendo do, they always have these little kind of, why Nintendo, why? It's like they're hanging so desperately on that company that brought us the Wii U and the whole travesty that system was. It's still there lingering. There's this new system that, that brought us the Switch, and it's freaking awesome. Hell yeah to that Nintendo, but god damn it, old Nintendo, stay away from it. Don't give us. So fans are currently campaigning for better ways to store their saves rather than just using a cloud save system, because there's been people who've been doing research, and there's lists of every single console you could locally back up your saves in some form or another. It starts with, just the obvious ones. Xbox cloud saves are just for free on Xbox. It's just a natural part of that ecosystem. PlayStation, you're able to back up your saves onto a USB stick, or if you pay for PS Plus, you can use cloud saves. But you've at least got the option of using a USB stick. All the way back to systems such as the freaking Dreamcast, where people could use an extra memory card and just transfer the data onto a different memory card and save it that way. The PlayStation 1 had that same functionality. You just put in a secondary memory card, you go grab, put one in, copy over your save data, just go put that in a safe somewhere and keep it safe. PC games, you just copy over the data files onto Google Drive, onto USB, onto the backup system of your computer, whatever you want, and you've got that. You've got that safe, you've got it handy, you can hang on to it, you can cling on to it, you can bring it in and clutch it and hold it, and you're good. But currently with Nintendo, with the Switch, you can't. And that is worrying, but as I already stated, it's an oversight. When I spoke about it on Tuesday, I said these are one of the things that gamers should expect from a console nowadays. Being able to back up your saves, being able to use cloud saves as part of the system natively should be just like a expectation, just a You know, it's what we deserve as gamers. We're giving you this money. Please just give us the little quality of life standards, such as being able to back up your saves, being able to use a cloud save system, whatever it is, just give us that functionality in it. The sadder thing as well about this is it's, you know, fans are rallying for this. Fans are begging for this. Even if fans accept that they're going to get cloud saves, they've got 4 months. They've got 4 months to go through, 4 more months to go through, to hope that they don't lose anything, that nothing happens to their Switch. Nothing that, you know, that it doesn't break, it doesn't... It's just frustrating to even think about, really. And it's really sad that so far people have gone and asked for comment from Nintendo about the fan reaction, and Nintendo haven't given any response. Nintendo haven't come out and spoke about this. If that means they're currently back in the war room trying to organize how they do this or how they fix this situation, awesome. I hope that is exactly what they're doing. I desperately hope that that is what is going on currently at Nintendo. But part of me feels like they're just head in the sand in this one. They're just gonna, you know, just not listen to the fan feedback, not give the people what they need and what they desire. They're just gonna say, no, they've got this online system, move along. And I understand that this is a business. I understand that Nintendo is running for financial gain, but this is something as gamers we deserve, and it's the right to have this functionality in your console. Maybe not your right, but as by purchasing it, it's something you expect. It's 2018 for fuck's sake. How do you feel about it? If you do feel about it, tweet at Nintendo. Get involved in the conversation. Make sure your voice is heard and get out there and speak it. Let the world know. Like, don't let Nintendo ignore this one. Keep it up. Let's move on to something a bit lighter, but at the same time, maybe not so light. So, as another story I talked about on Tuesday, Destiny 2 came out. Well, Destiny 2 came out, Ciaran. Fucking good one. Great job, bud. Of course it came out. Came out last year, you spudnik. Anyway, Destiny 2's latest DLC, Warmind, has just come out, and it's had enough time. Came out Tuesday. It's had enough time now for people really to, you know, to dig into it, to get what the content they desire out of it, and to give their first feedback about the DLC. So this is a $20 DLC. If you had the season pass of Destiny 2, which I did, you get it for free anyway. But you know, I need to stop purchasing. I need to stop buying season passes. Is my first point. In general. I've bought so many season passes and just never gone back for the DLC. Just never. I think I bought a season pass for Far Cry 5. I haven't even finished the first boss in that game, so whatever. But so it's come out. So it's been found that the Warmind DLC, the campaign that is features for the DLC, is heavily based around the AI Warmind called Rasputin, and one of the gods of, I think they're called the Collectors. I can't remember. It's not the Collectors. That's Mass Effect 2. It's something similar. And you go around. It's all take place on the new planet, which I believe is Mars. And it takes mostly around that new patrol area. So the campaign itself only goes for about 2 hours, and there's already been forums and Reddit posts, and you know, the whole shebang of people asking, wait, did my game bug and I missed a cutscene? Wait a minute, is that the end of the campaign for this DLC? And people have had to come out and say, yeah, that's it. Whatever. The fact that when a game dev writes a storyline for a campaign, they don't write it well enough that people think the game is broken, that the game has missed something. That is terrible writing. Nick has just said in chat, Destiny 2 is garbage. This comes from the man that bought Destiny 2 at least twice. And maybe one day he'll buy it again. Even if he says he won't in the chat right now, he'll buy it again, because that's Nick Pryor for you. But, but, so, after the campaign and this moment of, oh god, what's happening, Destiny 2 fans are really, you know, reasonably enjoying the game. They're actually really enjoying the new content. There's the new Horde mode that came out that is a lot harder than, you know, your average player. Like, you need to level up and grind and get your item level up to a high enough position to be comfortable in that game mode, which I think is fantastic. I think it's really good. it's content that players have been desiring for. There is more quests for rare guns that aren't just skins of guns. There's been a little bit of backlash over a lot of the weapons that have been provided are the same, like the same skin guns, just with different perks or with different stats, and that shouldn't be called DLC. That should probably just be added to the game naturally. But it's interesting to watch players now feel more compelled to grind out and work towards high level gear. And that's because it came through, and Bungie then looked at it and did the same thing they did in Destiny 1, right? So Destiny 1 was this whole fuck up. It was really bad at the start. By the end of it, the community that stayed for that game thought it was amazing, thought it was so good, and I went back and it was really good when I went back. So, we hoped they'd learned their lesson. We'd hoped they'd come through this once, they had figured it out, and you know what? Fuck it, whatever, we're gonna fix it the first time. Hasn't happened again. It's going through the same steps that Destiny 1 went through. So recently, Bungie has gone through and kind of fixed some items and made the item leveling of the game harder. Like, made it more grindy. There was, originally in Destiny 2, you could pretty much do any activity your heart desired to gain better items or to gain better loot. This has now been more restricted, as with other MMOs, to the heroic strikes or taking part in the raids, which is how games should be. It's how games should take place, and it should make you work for this, especially in MMOs. It needs to make you grind and work. Not grind necessarily. Yes, grind. Fuck it. It has to make you grind. Like, it has to make you work for it, because when you get that item, you feel accomplished. You feel like you've put your time and effort into something. You've really enjoyed it and loved it, and that's what you want. That's what you desire from games. And so now they've kind of had to do the same thing. They did the exact same thing in Destiny 1. They originally put out Destiny 1. Oh, great, cool, we got this whole items. Oh, wait, players are getting things too easily. Oh, no. Item level's going too high. Oh, God, it's happening too quick. All right, we'll fix it. We'll slow it all down. Happened again in Destiny 2. They're insane. They're insane at Bungie. It's doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different outcome. You can't do that. So players are finding it in some areas more rewarding now that they're having to grind it out more and obtain higher item levels by taking part in the heroic strikes. Another problem is that two of the strikes, the non-exclusive strikes, so two of those strikes are currently reskins of missions you do as part of the campaign, and then the only brand new strike is a PlayStation exclusive. So good job once again for PlayStation for signing in as timed exclusive for content for Destiny 2, but god damn it screws over everybody else so badly. It really does. And part of the raid is released this Saturday, so tomorrow the raid will come out so players can take part in that. The content seems to be getting better. Like, it seems to be there. There's just so many things that are growing and changing in that game that are frustrating for everybody involved, that are just annoying and anger-inducing for many players. So, Bungie, I really hope you're taking the right steps. I hope you're going to fix the game up. We'll be keeping an eye on here on Early Late Nights. We'll keep an eye on Destiny 2. And hopefully, I really hope it gets better and better, and then if they ever release Destiny 3, let's hope for that, as that's actually good from the start. On to something really positive. So, as always, I'm a big Overwatch nerd. And so this week Blizzard came out releasing a developer update with a new Mercy skin. So Mercy's a healer in Overwatch. And it was released this week that she was getting a new premium skin. So it's a US $15 here in Australia. It's $21 for this new skin. But 100% of proceeds from this skin are going to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which is a fantastic and awesome cause. Like, this, I can't say how happy I was when I looked over in the morning, grabbed my phone, and was reading through Twitter, and I saw this update. Makes me so happy and proud to be a fan of Blizzard, because they're working and using their platform, their established player base, to do something good. So Blizzard had come out and guaranteed that they're going to donate a minimum of $250,000 to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. A minimum. So no matter what happens, if this doesn't sell, if the breast care, they're also doing streams to support and to raise money for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. They're doing lots. They're going to be, there's sprays and special icons you can receive from watching those streams. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening around this. So even if they don't make enough, if they don't make 250,000, it's guaranteed money going to the charity. If not, 250,000 plus whatever the extra they make will also be going. And I think it's 100% worth the price. Everybody has been affected by breast cancer or a form of cancer in their life. I have. It was it's how my nan passed away. My mum worked very heavily with breast cancer as a breast cancer nurse for our area and for our community. And it's so fantastic and supportive of Blizzard to do this for that great cause. Doing it directly for Breast Cancer Research Foundation is, by my opinion, is the greatest thing they could do. And I really hope this kind of sets a standard that I really hope they bring out, like developers use their platforms and use their player bases to bring more, bring more of good causes to their games, such as the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. It's a long name, I'm sorry. And I really hope this is a spiral. This isn't a one-off by Overwatch. I hope, it even shows up in the Overwatch League, or they continue this partnership and release more stuff. If it's with Breast Cancer Research Foundation or with another charity in future, I'd be all for this. And it was one of those things, a lot of times when you look at games and you look at a skin and a skin's $20 or more, you can question it and think about it, Amanara, is it worth it? But I didn't even have this for a split second. I didn't have that doubt, didn't have that idea. It was just, oh, I'm in. Sweet. Just take my money. There you go. I contemplated buying one for a friend because, it's a beautiful looking skin. It's fantastic. It shoots pink bullets, people. Shoots pink bullets. How cool is that? It shoots pink bullets out of its pistol. It has these amazing intricate particles, and it's a fantastic skin on its own, but it's also for a great cause. So I wanted to use this time to say thank you to Blizzard. Thank you for putting this into the time and to show your support. If you're an Overwatch player or an Overwatch fan, then please buy the skin. Show some support. It's $20, man, at the end of the day. $15 if you're in the US. I understand if you're not in the position to give, but go hang out at one of the streams. There's a whole stream listing on the Blizzard website as well as in the Overwatch client of when you can watch the actual Breast Cancer Foundation streams. And if you log into Overwatch in the next couple of weeks, so I think this runs till May 21st, if you log in the next 10 days, you will also receive a player icon with the pink ribbon and the Mercy Wings on it, which is fantastic. So thank you very much to Blizzard for that one. Moving on to the tidbit of the week. More Overwatch going on. I know, I'm sorry. No, moving to the tidbit of the week. I've been thinking this week, and I've been reflecting a lot on why I play video games, because I think there's been a lot of change in how I play video games in periods of time. Like, there's some periods I'll play one way, another game I'll play another. It changes for me a lot. There's part of me that loves playing story games. That loves playing adventure games or anything with a well-written story, because I love writers. I love understanding their work. I love diving in and understanding as much of it as possible and living those experiences that leave a very big impression on you once you're finished. But then there's me on the other hand, and if you noticed, well, how can you not notice if you've watched the channel? I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately. A lot of Overwatch. And that's because there's part of me as a gamer that's very, very competitive. And I want to be able to show in a game that I'm good at this game. I'm competitive, I am good at this game, and I want to get better. And so this happened for me in 2012 with Dota 2. Before, I don't think it happened as much. Maybe I just enjoyed fucking around in Call of Duty multiplayer, or I never really got into those grinds on console. For some reason, I find it harder to get into those grinds on console. Maybe, I don't know why. But PC games, so 2012-ish, I got into Dota 2 very heavily, and that led to like something like 3,000 hours in that game. Because I just wanted to play that game all the time, and get better at that game, and get higher, get higher levels. So part of me wants to be that guy that when you play with your friends, they're like, he's going to carry us through. It's fine. He's got this. He's going to carry. We're awesome. We're good. I want to be able to show on my profile that, hey, look, this isn't, this is something that I love to put time into. I will listen to and consume as much content on a game that I'm interested in getting better in as I can. Overwatch is that game for me it's been since December I started playing it again, that I have put so much time into this game. I went from level 30 in the space since December, level 30 to level 202 at the minute. I bought a second account. I'm practicing. I'm watching VODs to learn how to get better. I'm watching people do coaching sessions. I'm listening to podcasts. And people go to me, dude, that's an addiction. That's really bad. You play Overwatch too much. You don't get to experience games. And that's something that I understand. And there will be a point in a couple months where I go, I need to take a break from Overwatch. I'm going to smash through a whole bunch of games that I've missed. Maybe. But I'm going to smash through a whole bunch of games that I miss, and I consume that as much as I can, because I think I have an addictive personality, or just something that I really like to consume gaming content. And as I said, it got me thinking, why do we play games? Why does anybody play games? So I put it out on Twitter, and I got a lot of responses. I got, the average response to, I want to lose myself in a game for a while. I want to escape life. I want to have some fun. I want to have some time to myself to play a game. I got this from the Twitter community, from you guys that follow me on Twitter, tweeted in and said this. And it's interesting because there's a wide range. If you said to me currently, why do you play Overwatch? I would say, hey, because I want to get good. And it's something I've done. I feel myself getting better. This week I've climbed, I feel myself getting more comfortable in the game. In the competitive game system, I've grown and I've climbed, and I feel really good. I'm on a 9-game win streak right now in competitive. And that's just from solo queuing. And I think my belief in myself and my focus in the game are all changing pretty heavily. So it's part of that love for the game that is driving me. And then I sat and I thought about it a lot longer at work today after seeing the different bits and pieces of people's reasoning why, that it's just because, it doesn't matter why you play games. It doesn't. I'm going to tell you right now, it does not matter to anybody else why you play games. Because nobody should need to have a reason for why you do it. You should not be told to anybody. You should not have to make them feel or try and justify why you play video games. We all play video games and we all love them for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't. We all play the games. We all love getting lost in whatever game we're playing, whatever fun we're having. If we want to be competitive, if we just want to relax, if we want to shoot stuff, if we want to blow stuff up. It's all a part of the game. And we're gamers, and it's an amazing community. It's toxic as fuck sometimes. But as a whole, the gaming community is such a good one. With stuff like a developer donating to Breast Cancer Research Foundation, or getting involved in a story, or tweeting back and forth with a dev and telling them how great their game was. Don't ever worry about why you play video games. Never. Don't you ever do that. I never want to see anybody on my Twitter community having to feel like, or the Explosion Network Twitter community, having to feel like they need to justify themselves as someone who did that. And I've been in there. I've been in friendships, in relationships in my life where I felt like I had to justify myself to them. I had to justify why I liked playing games to the other person. I had to give them a good reason why I liked playing games and I wasn't spending time with them. And at the end of the day, you don't have to do that. You don't. People should have to, people should be able to, now it's 2018, games have been around for fucking decades. But people still don't understand it's a hobby and a passion that people love and they want to put time into. Never stop somebody from doing something they love. Yeah, maybe give them a yelling at if they're not paying you, giving you the time you deserve, or interacting with you, or the gaming becomes a problem. But understand that it's a passion, it's a drive, it's a motivation, it's something that person is really interested in. And that's what I wanted to say in today's tidbit. I wanted to drive through that gaming is amazing. It's such an honest and awesome fucking thing. Like, it's such a cool hobby. It can be so different and so varied and why people do it, but we all love doing about it and we all love talking about it. I've never met somebody that's played video games and been like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about what I played in Dragon Age last night. I don't want to talk about how fucking cool my double kill was as Mercy the other day. I don't want to do it. No, I want to brag about that shit all day. I was awesome. No, Dylan, I'm not going to fuck you like you used to, You can't get that anymore. Don't yell boy at me either, Ashley Hobley. And that leads me on to my gamer spotlight for the week. So this week, I have dove down the rabbit hole in the last week and a half for a Twitch streamer called Jane. He is a fantastic guy from Canada who has been working in the Overwatch community for a little while now, doing gaming Overwatch content, coaching, video reviews, fun little segments, and as a whole, he's a fantastic streamer. He's responsible for me being late to work once this week, when I stayed up to watch his stream at like midnight and went to bed really late. I'm going to blame him. Sorry, Jane. Jesus. But it's so fantastic to be part of his streams and even going back and watching his VODs, because, a lot of people are very cut and dry, very, when they do these kind of review systems, they're very high and mighty. They're very, I'm better than you, so shut up and listen. Where Jane does things like the first hour of his stream, he probably won't do content he wants to do. He just wants to hang out and shoot the shit. He just wants to talk. He just wants to interact with chat. He just wants to see what's going on, maybe hear about some rumors that the chat know, talk, and just hang out. And it's funny because that's a part of Jane as a person that I appreciate, that he's just there to hang out and have some fun and help people get better at Overwatch. And that's why I've been watching him, because I want to get better at Overwatch. I want to stop being a scrub. And if you watch his VODs afterwards that he puts on YouTube, it's so funny because he goes on these fucking tangents mid-review. Sometimes he's not even 40 seconds into the VOD and he'll go on a tangent and he'll come back 20 minutes later and be like, oh shit, I'm doing a review. I love the amount of work and effort he puts into his streams. I love his involvement in the Overwatch community. His insight on Overwatch is fantastic. And I advise you, if you want to get good at Overwatch, if you're inspiring to be amazing, to get better at Overwatch, watch Jane. Watch his content. Take part in his streams. He's a fantastic guy. Instantly tier 2 sub that guy, because I was like, okay, I need to support this shit. This shit's awesome. I've been a part of his Discord for the last week. Discord, your two-factor authentication system really pissed me off. I had to make a new account. But that's another story. But it's fantastic to join part of his community. And if you want to get good at a different game, it doesn't have to be Overwatch. Find yourself somebody like Jane. Jane's an amazing person, and you need to, take some time, look at his content, and maybe see how that can improve your content if you're trying to teach people or show people the game. And that is the end of this episode of Early Late Nights with me, your boy Ciaran Marchant. It has been a fantastic Friday episode. We have gone through quite a few of the bits of information and the news that I thought is very important. Thank you for joining me every Tuesday, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Australian Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. If you can't make it now, that's fine. Come back 24 hours later, either to youtube.com/Explosion Network or to any good podcasting service. Download it, 7 o'clock. Download the episode, have it for yourself. Watch it. Watch me back, put me in slow motion. No, you don't want that. Sounds terrible. That sounds horrible. Each and every show we finish with 60 seconds of Media Madness, where I go through the quick news stories that I've missed from the show in the 60 seconds. If I don't get through them all, well, whoops, my bad. Have a good night. So, Steam, it's coming to mobile. You're going to be able to download games on your mobile phone. So, Apple Store, Google Play, sorry. Good luck with that. Dota 2 gets a Battle Royale mode. Dota 2 gets a... What the fuck? Dota 2 gets a... I don't even want to go into that shit. Dota 2's getting a Battle Royale mode. Fuck it. Whatever. Give everything a Battle Royale mode. Rage 2 has been leaked by Bethesda's... as part of Bethesda's console. I believe a copyright was found or some shit for Rage 2. So we're going to expect that at the E3, conference. And Bethesda were pretty cool about it. Crash Bandicoot was now set to launch on June 29th. It's supposed to be July 10th. But they've moved it forward to June 29th, and if you fell into the craze that was God of War, Dad of War, whatever the fuck you want to play it, you finished the game. Sorry, they've added photo mode, so people are taking pictures of Kratos' nipple and him saying boy in slow motion. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. Have a good night. GG, well played.